Let's talk about the coal market. You know, as I mentioned previously in one of the other videos, it doesn't matter whether you're Bill Clinton or Donald Trump or somebody with a huge sphere of influence or somebody that's holding up a sign on the side of the road. You only know so many people. And so by getting a written list and working the mechanics of how to build a sales and marketing organization, you can have an unlimited number of people to talk to. But at some point, for your personal prospecting, you know, you're working down in your organization, you're building, but let's say that you kind of run out of people to talk to by the time you get to regional, or by the time you get to senior, by the time you get to executive. At some point, you're going to want to transition into the cold market. And the first thing that I would tell everybody is make sure that you don't transition into the cold market in lieu of working your warm market. And keep in mind that you're constantly prospecting people. So you're taking your hot market, then your warm market, then your lukewarm market, and now you're in your cold market. So the fundamental of the cold marketing is this, is you want people to come to you with their hand raised and said, I'm interested. So it's not selling, it's sorting. And that's a very, very important distinction. It's not selling, it's sorting. So if you can develop a system that sorts people, where at some point somebody raises their hand and say, hey, by leaving you a message, say, you know, saw your sign, or I got your power card, or wherever it is, if you can get them raise their hand and leave their name and number on a recorded message, for example, that's somebody that's saying, hey, I'm interested. They've gotten a little bit of information and now they want to get more information, versus you going out and calling on every real estate office in the city of where you're currently living. Okay, so if you're going out knocking on doors, you're going to meet with a huge amount of rejection. And I'm not saying you can't cold market like that, but wouldn't it be smarter if we had a supply of leads that raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in more information? Then you've got people that are wanting to listen, not people that are telling you this won't work, or it's a pyramid scheme or something like that. Okay, so so then you look at cold marketing and you say, okay, I'm going to have to invest some money. I mean, I'm going to have to spend some money to create these people to raise their hands. Well, I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend as little money as possible up front, particularly as I'm learning how to cold market people. So let's talk about a system that really doesn't take a whole lot of money. You know, not go into a lead company and buying leads or buying a system or whatever. So just go to google.com and Google in something like Dallas Networking Group, okay? Or, you know, whatever your city is, or you could put Dallas Chamber of Commerce's, or Chamber of Commerce, or what have you. And so you're looking for groups that are already in existence, that are business groups. The biggest business networking group in the country is a company that goes by the initials of BNI. I think it's Business Network International, but it's BNI.com. There are BNI meetings in every major city in America, okay? So you can just, you don't have to Google that one, you can just go to BNI.com, okay? And most of these networking groups have a set of rules, okay? So they'll allow you to come to a couple of meetings, and they'll even, in most cases, buy you lunch your first time, or maybe you have to pay for it yourself. But they have networking meetings, and these are aggressive entrepreneurs that are in a community that are looking to network with other businesses. And a lot of these networking groups will only allow one person from an industry. So there's only one plumber, there's only one real estate agent, there's only one mortgage broker, there's only one chiropractor, there's only one dentist. And so what happens in these networking groups is they're all talking to one another, and they're using each other personally, but they're also referring people to one another. So they'll actually come into the meetings and have accountability of, hey, I referred two people to Doc Jones, the dentist, and I referred one to such and such, the plumber. And so the expectancy is, in a lot of these groups, is that you'll refer people. But you have an opportunity on the front end to go visit the group. And when you go visit the group, they're typically going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to do what I call an elevator pitch, to stand up, say, hi, I'm Brian McClure, I'm a consultant with Ambit Energy, I'm a national founding consultant with Ambit Energy, I'm currently the #1 income earner. Hey, I'm Brian McClure, I'm a senior consultant with Ambit Energy, whatever it may be. They're going to give you an opportunity to just sit there and give a 2 to 3 minute spiel, a little bit about yourself. And what you want to say in that 2 and 3 minute spiel is you want to talk about the deregulation of energy in Texas or Illinois or New York or wherever you are. And on top of that, you want to you want to talk about the credibility of the company. Okay, so a little spiel would go something like this. It'd be along the lines of, hi, my name's Brian McClure. I'm a national founding consultant with a company that's licensed here in the state of Texas by the Public Utility Commission by the name of Ambit Energy. I'm currently the #1 income earner in the company, been very, very successful with it. And let me tell you a little bit about the company. Ambit Energy is headquartered right here in Dallas, Texas. The CEO of the company is Jerry Thompson Jr. Most of y'all are familiar here with Southland Corporation or 7-Eleven. His grandfather, Joey Thompson, started 7-Eleven. And his dad and 2 uncles were the ones that built it to what it is today. So Jerry's our CEO, and he partnered with a gentleman by the name of Chris Chambliss. And strategically, they're partnered with Shell Energy Trading, which is the wholly owned subsidiary of Royal Dutch Shell. Royal Dutch Shell is the second most profitable, 3rd largest corporation in the world. And what we do is we give people an alternative choice on electricity. So here in Dallas, as you're aware, TXU is the incumbent carrier, but we give people the opportunity to choose Ambit Energy or several other carriers out there. We offer rates that are lower than most. We offer them free travel. We give them a giveaway weekend. We give them a couple thousand travel reward points that act like frequent flyer miles for trying the service. And if they'll refer 15 customers that pay their bill in a given month, we'll give them up to their energy bill for free. In other words, we have a program where you can get your electric bill for free. So in a networking situation, that to me is the intro to have them come to you after the meeting, because what happens after the meeting, everybody passes around cards and everybody networks with everybody else. And the least you're going to do coming out of these network meetings is get a couple of people to sign up as your customers. But what you want to do is you want to get them involved as a managing consultant in your business. So you're going to give a very brief, lot of credibility, a little blurb on deregulation, and then discounted, written guarantee, just figure out what you're comfortable with. These groups only give you 2 to 3 minutes. So you really need to get this elevator pitch down to where you can stand up and do it in a minute, because a minute will expand into 2 minutes really quickly.